Welcome back, Juice and Jems. Come on, Dad. Come on. I don't know what he doing, but he always be distracting me. Sometimes I hit play on the camera, he be all up over here, and I'm tired. So, welcome back, Juice and Jems. I'm just gonna make this 2 parts, but this finale. But this is about to be the finale. This is gonna be the finale. Let's get started. Last time we talked, I was telling you guys I helped him, his brother. This is we're talking about Poe. I helped his brother. Well, we were trying to help his brother escape from the police. Needless to say, he is still currently in jail. If you did not read the description of the last video, but outside of that incident, afterwards, me and him was still talking and texting and stuff like that. And as the weeks and months went on, we just was getting serious and serious. We just kind of threw each other into a relationship, I guess, because one minute we was single and just having sex, and then the next minute it was like, oh, you my girl. And I'm like, well, I ain't know. Look, I was still flirting with the little boys in the high school, but so when I first met him back in 2012, 2014-15, it was, I don't remember. I graduated 2016, so it was like, had to be like the end of 2014, 2015-ish. So me and him were talking every day. We were seeing each other every day. We wasn't having sex every day, but we would see each other, talk, text on the phone, call each other at night, call each other, you know, when I'm at lunch and stuff like that. He would schedule his lunch around my actual lunch period at work and stuff like that. So when we first met, he had dreads. He had dreads, and he used to smoke weed. He used to smoke blacks. The only thing he didn't smoke was cigarettes. But he was a smoker. I mean, like, every time I see him, he was smoking. Every time I get in the car, it still smelled like something, like he just smoked something. He was still kind of still in the streets, kind of. Like, he wasn't selling no, you know, no drugs or nothing like that. But he was still hanging out with his friends that was doing the selling. And he still was, you know, doing hood shit, you know? Me, I grew up in the hood. And I really have no parts of that. Like, I'm not interested in that, like, at all. On and off up until my junior year, which we're talking about now. Like, my end of middle school, 9th and 10th grade year, for 3 years, I was dating this dude in my neighborhood, a little gangster, a little thug, around the block, on and off for 3 years, because my mama kept telling me, stop seeing him, and I kept seeing him. But he gave me like the worst experience in the world with dealing with hood dudes. We was the same age, but he just was, baby, he was toting guns and he was selling his stuff, and the baby was doing armed robberies and all type of stuff and going to jail. He cheated on me because I hadn't lost my virginity yet, so I never had sex with him. But this guy ended up having a baby on me. It was a lot. So I kind of like, after that, was turned off by dudes that still hung out in the hood. And this guy was still hanging out. So we were constantly getting arguments because I'm telling him, like, I really don't feel safe, like, you bringing me around your friends to hang out in the hood, like, and I already stay in the hood, and I know you could be chilling and vibing and, you know, now everybody's ducking, hitting the floor. Like, I know that in real life. So I personally told him, like, I don't feel comfortable. And me and him used to always argue about the same shit. Like, I'm like, you should want to turn your life around. Like, you graduated high school how long ago? 4 years ago? And then on top of that, not only did you graduate 4 years ago, you don't have any kids, you have a good job. These people are still in the hood, like they've been in the hood. You live on the white side of town, you live in a nice neighborhood. You have shit that you can actually lose if you get caught up in other people's drama, other people's mess. I understand that these are your friends, but you gotta play your friends at a distance. And he was like not trying to hear it. So he just like was getting angry at me because basically I was telling him the truth though. Like, I was 16 and I understood like dealing with people who ain't got shit to lose can make you lose everything. Like, I understood that because for all 16, for 14 years of my life at that time, my mama had been staying in the same apartment, in the same hood, with the same group of people who was losing shit, who was going to jail constantly, who was always fighting and arguing. Get off of that before you get a whooping. Who was always fighting and arguing and stuff like that. And shootouts and robberies and all this stuff. So I'm like, I already seen firsthand how a person can still be friends with the wrong people. And these people, you know, the whole no snitch thing, they want to be ride or die for their friends. And then now they doing 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 for somebody else bullshit. I was like, you know, because I care about you, I'm going to just tell you. I know you're older than me, but clearly you're not thinking. So we would argue all the time, girl. We'd be driving. He'll like flick the little black, not at me, but like say we get mad, he'll get mad and he'll flick the black. I'm like, why you that mad that you dirty up your car? Like, cause he was like, I really want to put this on you because you really to me. I was like, leave the issue alone. Like, every time I pick you up, you telling me the same thing. Like, every time I see you and I ain't talked to you the whole day, and you see I've been with my homeboys, you tell me the same thing. You tell me the same thing. Like, man, let it go. Girl, when we used to argue, this man used to call me all type of names. When I say all type of names, oh, girl, when you having sex with me, I ain't no little girl. But the minute we get in an argument, you know what you're talking about? You a girl. You think you know you don't know nothing. Oh, okay. I wasn't no little girl when you was sliding your little penis to me. So I just don't understand. Like, am I a little girl or am I a grown woman? Because you need to pick a side. Girl, I would be hard down. We used to mostly argue in the car, though. Because, you know, on the way to come get me or on the way to drop me off or something like that, we would stay arguing. Like, oh, my God. Annoying. And then one day when I was like my senior year, I'll tell you, I was messing with this dude for like 3 years straight. Like, after him, I kind of like started straying away from the people that I was holding on to. I had middle school guys, like, but needless to say, there were other people. It just wasn't like how it is with this person, like sexual and stuff like that. So me and him used to always be together. When I say almost every day we was together, like almost every single day me and him was together. So we used to stay arguing, like, and it just got to the point where I'm like, bitch, I'm about to kill him. Like, I'm finna yoke this man. I'm finna yoke this man out. He getting on my nerves. So fast forward to my senior year. Out of nowhere, one time I was on the phone and he was like, I'm gonna change my life around. I'm like, what you mean by that? He was like, I'm gonna cut my hair off. No, he didn't even tell me to cut his hair off. He had already cut his hair off, but he was saying it like he was going to do it, but he had already did it. He was like, I'm thinking about cutting my hair off. So I'm gonna start smoking. I'm gonna start smoking everything. I'm gonna start smoking blacks. I'm gonna start smoking blunts. I'm gonna start smoking and just, you know, because at that time I was going to church every Sunday faithfully, and I was so into the Lord. Not to say, you want to say hey? Because you're doing a lot right here. Come on. Okay, well, stop then. I was going to the church every Sunday. Nobody was forcing me. Nobody was making me. I just was like so into church, so into the Lord. I'm still into the Lord. I'm just not into church no more. College turned me off of church. That's another story time. But basically, he just knew that I was all about serving God. Like, I feel like the best way for me to serve God was to always go to church, do church events. I was in a little youth choir. I did the Wednesday church nights. I was, girl, I'm over here having sex. But I was doing the Wednesday church nights, and I just loved my church. And there was nothing wrong with my church. It's just that I swear I strayed away. And he just started to admire that about me. Like, no matter how many arguments me and him got in, no matter how rocky my family was, no matter how poor I was at the time, I always found a way to. I used to walk to church. Did it. I used to walk to church. Nothing could stop me. Literally, I used to go to church every Sunday and Wednesday. So, I don't know. He was like, you know, you just motivated me to, in the whole 2 years at that time, because we were still talking in college when I went to college. But he was like, the whole 2 years I've been knowing you, you always go to church. Like, all my family could tell you, from elementary to middle school to high school and part of college, I used to go to church every week, faithfully. So he was like, you just motivated me to try to get closer to the Lord. And I was like, me? Okay. So he started going to church. He cut his dreads off. He got like a little low haircut. And he stopped smoking for real. He actually stopped smoking completely. Then we stopped arguing. Like, it was so crazy. Like, when he did a 360, it kind of made the relationship a lot better at the time. We used to call each. He went to his own church. I went to my own church. And he had set up these things where after church, me and him would get on the phone and then talk about whatever the lesson was for the day at the church and go over the Bible verses. And girl, I'm like, this is like a whole 360 change from what was going on. Like, we used to always talk on the phone about the Lord and stuff like that. And what do you think about this verse? Like, what do you take away from that? I had like a little Bible journal where we would write into it and stuff like that. Girl, was like, I'm like, oh my God, this is like really cool. I really love this. So that went on for a while, up until I graduated high school. Towards the end of my senior year, he kept asking me, like, because I used to tell people all the time, my dream college was Florida Agricultural Mechanical University. That was my dream college. It wasn't always my dream college, but the closer I got to graduating, I knew I wanted to go to that college. So he was like, didn't you say you want to go to FAMU? And I was like, yeah, I do. That's the school I wanted to go to. I wanted to be a part of that culture. I ended up dropping the A and went to FMU. But BB's always like, oh, you go to FAMU? I'm like, girl, you know damn well I go to shady people. But he knew I wanted to go to FAMU. So what ended up happening was, he was like, well, I'm finna move. And I'm like, move? He was like, yeah, my lease is up, and so I'm finna move, and I'm finna go back to college. Because he never went to college. He just started working at a regular job. And I'm like, well, where are you going to go to college at? And he was like, he found this Christian college up close to Tallahassee. I forgot the name of the city. But this is the thing. This college that he wanted to go to was on the time zone line of Florida. If anybody really knows Florida, because people swear they know Florida, Florida has 2 different time zones. Up on the Panhandle, I think that's the right word, towards the top of Florida by Georgia. Tallahassee is on the Eastern Standard Time, but there is a split, and then on the rest of Florida, they're an hour behind us. So the college that he wanted to go to was in like a little country city, and it was on the other side of the time zone, so he was always an hour behind me. So he was like, oh, I don't remember the name of the college. Really, garbage truck? So he ended up actually getting into the college, and he was like, I'm gonna get a place up there, I'm gonna take my car up there. And he did. He went, he got him a place up there, and we still was talking all the time. Even though we was an hour behind, he still would call me when he woke up and stuff like that. And Sundays when he went to church and stuff, he would still call. So I'm like, you know, now I'm googly eyed about this guy because, oh, he said he did that because he wanted to be up there with me when I went to FAMU. So long story short, I didn't get into FAMU. We'll talk about that another time. But I had a 3.9 GPA. I don't understand. But so he was like ready and preparing himself for me to come up there so we could be up there because it was only 30 minutes away from Tallahassee. So, which is get from out of there. So, anyways, he was preparing himself for me to come up there. That's what he was telling me. He was like, when you get up here, you know, I know you're not going to have no car, no job. So, you know, if you want to stay with me on the weekends or stay with me throughout the week, and I take you back to the school and stuff like that. Like, he was planning this whole little life for us. And I was really, really excited. And so, like, my man is, you know, trying to really be my man. Like, I was so happy and stuff like that. And then these are the breaks. I blame me now. Now that I'm older, I blame me because I didn't see. He started to grow past me where I couldn't comprehend it anymore. So what was happening was he started meeting college people. He started doing college things that he would sometimes I was getting upset because we normally would talk all the time. Then it went from us not really barely talking throughout the day. And he'd be like, oh, I was on a fishing trip with the boys, and then we had this, and we went out. And I'm starting to get agitated and irritated. Like, you came up there so you could be with me when I come in 5 months. What's going on? Like, you ignore me now. You got these new friends and all this. And girl, he started talking real educated and like, he was just like, it was just like to me, disrespectful. To me, it was like white people. I don't mean like, oh, hi, how are you? I mean like he would use words that, what the fuck is this? What does that even mean? I don't even know what you're trying to tell me right now. You just keep using these big old words. It's just us. It's just, we don't have to talk like that. Like, just use regular words. Like, I'm not saying dumb it down, but understand that I don't get why you got to use these words that's 18 characters long in a regular conversation about how was your day. Like, it was starting to really, really piss me off. But at that time, I didn't see my baby was growing. He was becoming mature and matriculating into a better person. And I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it. But at the time, I just thought, girl, he's just being an asshole. He's just trying to throw the fact that he's in school in your face. Like, that's how I looked at it. So we kept arguing and stuff like that. But we still was together. He was like, I really want you to, like, you know, you'll understand when you get out here, when you start going to school. Oh, that's a word. You'll understand when you get out here, when you start going to school. One day I was because I used to go to this mentoring program for like 8 years. I was in this mentoring program. So we was sitting in the van and I was on the phone with him because we was about to go somewhere. And he was like, what would you say if I asked you to marry me? And I was like, there's no ring, so I mean, how realistic can it be if you ask me? He was like, I mean, you can always get the ring when you come up here. And I was like, you know, I probably would say yes because I really do love you. He was like, well, will you marry me? And I was like, I will marry you. He was like, okay, well, that's good, it's settled. And I'm like, huh? What you mean it's settled? What are you talking about? He was like, I just proposed to you. Like, sir, that's not how you do it. But I was so excited, girl. And my little 18 at the time, I was now 18 because I turned 18 in March of that year, and we still was, you know, talking. So he was 22. He was 22 when I was 18. Is that right? 19, 22, 22. Yeah. Okay, he was 22 when I had turned 18. So we had been talking since I was 16. He was 20 when I was 16. And then from 16 to 18, me and him still was talking. And so then he got up proposing to me when I turned, 3 months after I turned 18. So I just knew that was it. shit didn't get no better after he proposed to me. It just was still just going downhill. Like, and eventually I broke up with him. I told him, listen, I didn't even get into the school, sir. So you don't even gotta worry about me no more. I'm finna go to Miami. I got into the school in Miami. I'm finna move down there. I don't have a car. I still don't got a job. But you don't have to worry about me no more at all. And he just was like, really? Like, did you purposely do that? And I was like, no, I didn't purposely do it. Like, you know, I really wanted to go to FAMU. You know that what my heart was set on FAMU. But shit happens, so I'm not going. And now I'm going to this place, and I'm happy about it. And he just was like, wow, that's so selfish. He felt like I made him. If I'm talking kind of quiet, it's because I'm kind of sleepy. But he felt like I had made him move up there to that city. I never told you. You did that stuff on your own, sir, because you wanted to be with me. You knew I hadn't even applied for colleges yet. You just knew that in my heart was settled on going to that school. I couldn't help that them people didn't choose me. I couldn't help that. Like, if it was up to me, I'd be up in Tallahassee. But thank God, I did not go to Tallahassee, because I didn't find out that Tallahassee gets cold until I got to college. But he just felt like I was so selfish and so evil, and I just uprooted his life and whatever. He ended up moving back home the end of that semester. So the next fall of, you get it? He did 1 year there, and then he moved back home. So yeah, that was basically the end. The only other story time that he's gonna get is when I finally do the story time about me finally sucking Peter Smacker-Wacker. I'm gonna do a story time about my first time putting something in my mouth. So that's the end of that. I need to take a nap before I go to work, and I need to eat. So until next time, Jems and Jems. Just one. Peace.